So this lab is a packet result lab. This is a complete enterprise network test. This is a complete enterprise network setup with static routing, VLAN, and server configuration. So the objective for this lab is to demonstrate a real-world enterprise setup that include VLAN segmentation. We have the IT department, and we have the admin and HR department. Static routing between routers, DHCP server for dynamic IP assignment, DNS, email, NTP, AAA authentication, and syslog server implementation. DHCP snooping, port security, VLAN open prevention are some of the layer 2 security we are going to deploy. Configuration, we are going to shut down unused features. So to start, I'll go ahead and configure my VLANs on my switch. So let me first label this switch, my switch 7, or just call it user underscore switch. So on my CLI, enable config T, change the host name of my to user underscore switch. Okay. Then I'll create a VLAN, VLAN 10 or VLAN 15. Name it IT departments, VLAN 25. Name it admin HR. And those are the two VLANs we have there. Okay. So exits. Now I'll move my access port to the rightful VLAN. So interface range FAO/3 to 4. Switch ports mode access. Switch ports access VLAN 15. Exits. Interface range 5 to 6. Switch port mode access. Switch port mode access VLAN 25. That is all. Creation of our VLAN. Then I'm going to shut down my unused ports. Before I shut down my unused port, I do the security features. Then first do the basic configuration. Exit interface FAO/1. Switch ports mode trunk and WR. Now I want to enable my static routing. So let me rename this. Maybe I should give this one New York, New Jersey, Georgia, Georgia, and Texas. Georgia. I will configure my static routing. Let me bring out my notepad. New York router. For them, first enable the interfaces. Enable config T, host name, New York router, interface gigabyte 0/0, IP at 192.168.1.1, 255.255.255.240, no shots. Interface once 2.1 shots and WR DHCP router enable config T, host name DHCP router, interface gigabyte 0/0, IP at 192.168.2.2, 255.255.255.240. No shots. Exits. IP at 3.1. Shots. And WR. Texas router. Enable config T, host name Texas, interface gigabyte 0/0, IP at 192.168.3.2, 255.255.255.240. No shots. Exits. IP at 4.1. No shots. And WR. Georgia router. Enable config T, host name Georgia, interface gigabyte 0/0, IP at 192.168.4.2, 255.255.255.240. No shots. Exits. 1.1. Then 5.1. No shots. And WR. Show IP interface brief. This is 4.2, 4. Should be 4.1. Okay. Now I want to enable my static routing. Let me bring my notepad out. for this config T, IP routes on your router, the missing network are 3, 4, and 5. So 192.168.3.0.255.255.240. Our next sub is 192.168.2.1. Four, 4.1, 4.0, and then 5.0. And WR. Okay. Sorry. My next one should be 2.2. I put 2.1. Mistake. 2.2. Okay. So IP routes. Static routes configured for my New York router. So these are the mission network 3, 4, and 5 for the New York router. So for my New Jersey router, but the missing network are 1, 4, and 5. So the missing network for the New Jersey router is 1 network is missing. And for it to get to 1 network, its next up will be 2.1. And to get to 4 network and 5, its next one will be 3.2. 3, this interface is 3.2. Now the next is Texas. For Texas, the missing network are 1 and 2. Then 1 and 2, then 5. So for it to get to 1 and 2, it has to go through this interfigure by 0/1, which is 3.1. That is the next up. 3.1. And for it to get to 5 network, it has to get to this next up of Georgia interface, by 0/0, which is 4.2. So for Texas, let me update my route, static routes, which is good. So the next router is that is my Georgia router. So the missing network for Georgia is 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. And for it to get to 1, 2, 3, its next up is always with 4.1. So I've enabled my routes. So the last route, and now for these two VLAN, which have been segmented to communicate, I have to enable inter-VLAN routing, and the inter-VLAN routing will be done on the New York router. I'll configure what is called router on the stick on this interface. That means this physical interface will be divided into sub-logical interface. gigabyte 0/0 will be divided into sub-logical interface. Config T, interface gigabyte 0/0.10.15 for VLAN 15. Encapsulation dot 1Q15. IP add 192.168.15.1. 255.255.255.0 visits. Then VLAN 25, encapsulation.1Q25, IP add will be 25.1. So by configuring these networks on this, now I can actually verify show IP interface brief. So I've configured my new sub-interface, this interface. Now these networks, this other router don't know about this network. So I have to update this network on all the other routers. So 15 and 0 network has to be updated on the New Jersey router. So that means let me first start on the New Jersey router. IP routes to get to 192.168.15.0.255.255.0 pass through 192.168.2.1. 192.168.2.1. So the same way is going to get to 25 network too. So for Texas router 2, I will update a routing table. So for Texas router to get to that network, it has to go pass through this interface 3.1. And for Georgia router to get there, it has to pass through 4.1. So now let me update my routing table. New York router. Then for Texas router, then for Georgia router, now we're done with our routing. Then I will now configure my DHCP. .168.5.2 subnet max of 240. Default gateway of 192.168.5.1. Our DNS 192.168.5.3. Let me label my topology. To leave 5.2. My DNS will be 5.3. My image server will be 5.4. My NTP server will be 5.5. And my HE will be 5.6. So my DNS, let me now go to my DNS service, DHCP, on my service, create my pool for the IT departments. The default gateway is 5.1. No, the default gateway for the IT department will be 15.1. And our DNS server is 5.3. So this is a 15 network. We start issuing from 10. And the subnet is 0. Okay. 15.1, 15.3 is okay. We can add. So the other department will be admin, HR departments. The default gateway is 25.1. Start giving from 25. I click add. I've created my two pools of my two pool VLAN for VLAN 15 and VLAN 25. I'll need to configure an IP helper to pull the pooled IP addresses from the server. Config T. Interface VLAN 15. IP helper dash address 192.168.5.2. Exits. Interface this 25. IP helper address this and WR. So now let me see if my DHCP server is actually communicating. Getting a paper. Now it's not getting IP address 15.10 from the server. It's working. Yes, it's working. Then for VLAN 20, yes, the second device. Yes. So my disk server is working. Now, since my disk server is working, now before I configure my DNS, I want to make sure my DHCP snooping is actually active. So I want to prevent rogue attack by configuring DHCP snooping. I already have my configuration on my notepad. So I'm going to trust only these two interfaces, FO1 and FAO2. So let me now still confirm if this level of security has not stopped my DCP from working. Let me go back to static. Go back to static. Then enable my DCP again. It's working. Enable my DCP again. It's working. So I'll go back to static on this one too. Go back to static. Now it's working. It's working. So my DCP Snooping has been enabled. Show run pipe section DHCP Snooping. DHCP. Okay. Yes, this is my configuration. Yes, so now I'm going to configure my DNS, email, my NTP, and AA authentication, and my syslog. For my DNS, 192.168.5.3 to 40. Yeah, default gateway is 192.168.5.1, and the DNS 192.168.5.3. So now I'll go to my service, enable my DNS records. Let me first start adding my DHCP server to it, which is 192.168.5.2. Add. Then my Gmail, maruva.com, which is 192.168.5.4. Then the NTP server, add the address to the record 192.168.5.5. Then the AA 192.168.5.6. Add. Then my syslog server, which I have not configured, I'll give it 192.168.1.5. 1.5. Then PC14, which is 192.168.15.10, I guess. 15.10. 15.10, yes. So I'll label this to be 15.10. This is 15.11. And this is 25.10. And then 25.11. And this one will be 1.5. Yes, so this is good now. So let me now continue my DNS record. PC15 will be 15.11. Yes. PC16 will be 25.10. Then PC 17 will be 25.11. So I've updated my devices. They're all on my DNS server. So now let me go and test it. First test I will do, I will ping my DNS server, ping 192.168.5.3. Okay, I can communicate with my DNS server. So NS lookup to verify. So exit, NS lookup, maybe NTP server. So my DNS is working. You can see. So after configuration of my DNS, and then I will go to my email server. To configure my email server, I'll give my email server an IP address 192.168.5.4, 240, and their default gateway is 192.168.5.1, and the DNS server is 192.168.5.3. So go to my email, SMTP is up, and the POP3 service is up. So my domain name I have on my DNS record maruf.com. I will set that. Then I'll add my users, PC14. I'll give a regular password, Cisco, PC15, same password. Don't want to forget my password, Cisco, PC16, Cisco, PC17, Cisco. So I've added, I could have replaced this with somebody's name like DG, Tulu, Abad, Absolute, but and do that on your own. So I'll go to the end users to configure my email. Yeah, this is PC14 name. Then the PC14 at maruf.com. The incoming server will be maruf.com, and the outgoing server will be maruf.com. So now the username is PC14, and the password we set was Cisco. Just click save. So for the second user, PC15, the email is PC15 at maruf.com. So now let me use the server IP address instead of the domain name, 192.5.4, 192.168.5.4. So the user is PC15 and the password is Cisco. Save. So let me now go to the VLAN 20. Okay. This is PC 16. The email is PC16 at maruf.com and maruf.com. Outgoing server, maruf.com. Then PC16, Cisco. Save. Then PC17. Email is PC17 at maruf.com. Then 192.168.5.4. 192.168.5.4. PC17. The password is Cisco. Save. Now let me try to compose an email. Let me first compose an email to PC17. PC16 rather at maruf.com. Testing. Hello. We are testing our server. Send. See success. Now let me go to the PC to retrieve it. Receive email and it's there. Okay. So our email server is actually working. Now the next one is configure my syslog server. I'll configure my syslog server. Let me give my syslog server an IP address. 192.168.1.5. Subnet of 240. The default gateway is 192.168.1.1. And our DNS server is 192.168.5.3. So we are good. So the service syslog is already on. So I'll configure the syslog server on my layer 2 switch. So I want to first configure my management interface. Interface VLAN 1, IP at 192.168.255.255.255.240. No shots. As its IP default gateway will be 192.168.1.1 and WR. So, okay, let me now configure the syslog. Logging 192.168.1.2. One dot two. No, 1.5. That is server IP address. 1.5. 1.5. 1.5 and login buffer 6400 login trap bugging. Service timestamps log dates time MSC. I think we're good. And before then, let me set the time clock. Question mark. Set question mark. What's the hour? Will be 7:39 on my hand. 00 July 25th, 2025. Oh, so now I put that. Okay. Okay. So let me check if my syslog is actually capturing. Not yet, because there's nothing to debug. Hmm. Let me try to shut down this PC and see what happens. You can see it's communicating from the host 1.6. Immediate shutdown up down. So let me on the PC again. Now it's not back up. So my syslog is working. Now what next is my now it's not left for me to configure my NTP server. My NTP server 192.168.5.5 240. Our default gateway 192.168.5.1. And our DNS server is 192.168.5.3. 5.3. Go to my service, NTP on my service. Okay, I'll enable my authentication. My authentication. And I'll configure my NTP server. And I think I'll have to configure it on this Georgia router since it's close to it. Let it be our for the authentication. So let it for the authentication. So let me set my key to be 1, and my password to just be ABC123. Okay. And this my time is wrong. Let me see, it's 1 to 25. This time is wrong. This is 7. 46 0 and the 5th. Yeah. Okay. I've enabled my authentication. Now let me go to my server, my router rather. Enable before then. Okay. Clock sets question mark. What's my time here? Is 7:46 00 July 25th 2025. Config T. Okay. I've already set my host name, so let me set my clock time zone. I'm in EST -5. Summertime recording will not work, so I won't go to this. I'll just set my NTP authentication. NTP authenticates authentication. NTP authenticates. Sorry. NTP authentication key 1, and our password ABC123. Okay, sorry, we have to put our MD5. MD5. The NTP trusted key is 1. Then we can now set our NTP server, set the NTP server with authentication. So NTP server 192.168 5.5 key is 1. So with that, I don't want to send anyone to be Stratum and all those ones. So I just leave the basic configuration. So you can verify by configuration by typing show NTP association, show NTP status. Let me verify. Show clock. Our date is working, but time is not right. Show NTP association. Show NTP status. We argue sometimes it's still unsynchronized. Let's give some time for it to be synchronized. It shouldn't take time. But now it's still unsynchronized and it starts on 16. So no reference clock. So it's still not working, but let's give some time. Maybe it's going to synchronize. So then the next one will be our AAA authentication. So let me go to my AA server. Give me an IP address 192.168.5.6. 240 192.168.5.1. Then this is 192.168.5.3. So A authentication service is on. Then our client will still be our router. Our router name is Georgia. Georgia. And the IP address, like the interface 192.168.5.1. Then our secret key will be, let's give it to APC 123. And we are configuring Takas. Add, and let's add our users, maybe admin, password, ABC 123. Maybe give another user bio, and ABC 123. So these are the users that need to be authenticated. Let me go to my Georgia router, config T, then AA, new model, Takas server, hosts will be 192.168 5.6. Our keys ABC 123. Then AAA authentication. Then the login will be defaults. Then the group will be Takas local. Then the username will be this is a local username. We don't need this one though. It's a local authentication. Then this one will be secret will be admin. This is a backup one. Then the line BTY 024. Login authentication defaults. It's not defined in login. Wait, oh, sorry. The spelling. Transports, inputs. Let's use Telnet for now. Transport inputs, sausage. And that's for our A authentication. So we have to configure maybe telnets to verify that. I think this covered this basic configuration for the classwork. Then we have to shut down our unused ports. I've already done my so let me shut down my use ports. Enable show IP interface brief. So this my unused ports are FA07 to 24. Config T interface FAOs interface range FAO/7 to 24, comma gigabyte is 0/1 to 2. Yes, okay. I'll prefer to move them to a black hole VLAN. So let me forward to this one. Just create a VLAN. VLAN 999. Name black hole. Exits. So interface range this. Switch ports mode access. Switch ports access VLAN 999. Then shuts down. Shut down. Show VLAN brief. So they've all been moved to this black hole VLAN and they are shut down. So that is good. So now now let me put a native VLAN config T VLAN 99. Name it native. Yes, and WR. Config T. Config T interface FAO1 Swift port Swift ports. Oh. So now I want to enable my trunk, my native VLAN, and allow the specified VLAN to actually do VLAN filtering and enable my native VLAN and also prevent VLAN open attack and also the CDP run. So I have my configuration. switch ports. Oh, CDP run. Oh, interface strong. Okay. So I've shut down, I've prevented VLAN open attack. Now I'll also do that on my interfaces here, on my access ports config T, interface range FAO/126 switch ports mode access switch ports now I go sheets. And then no CDP enable and of the arrow. So I'm almost then. I have to configure my port security for FAO 4 to 6. Yes, I have my port security configured. Only of security that I want to configure again. Then I can even add my banner to it. No, no, no. I think we are done. I was still slow with recording. What next? So I've finished the configuration. I've added almost all the layer of security to it. I've done my DHCP VLAN open attack prevention, shutdown use port, dump port security, vented VLAN open, configure my native VLAN. So I don't want to configure the banner and MOT. It's on this switch. Okay, we get configuration modes. Okay. So I added a banner, multi, and this. That's the end of this configuration. Okay, thank you.